how they can participate. So, and most of them have actually fit into several of the Cardano roles, community reviewers, level 0, level 1, and they are doing well. Yes, so and I'm also the founder for Center for Technology Education and Innovation Lab, in short, CTEL, and most of the activities I do, I upload them on this site. So the website, so www.ctel.org. So once you navigate to the site, you should be able to see what we do in our little way. But it's just unfortunate I've not updated it for quite some time, but there are a lot of interesting stuffs on it. I'm also the founder of Cardano Africa Academy, and most of the activities, I do upload them on YouTube. I do basic blockchain concepts. I put it there to help transition people from different parts of the world to understanding what blockchain is all about. Yes, I like what Dan said yesterday. People are still struggling to install WhatsApp, and you come and start talking about the big stuffs. How will they? So I think this was over the years. This has been the question I've always been thinking of, and just decided that I have to devote time without funding. Yes, so I just do it because I love to do it. Devote time to organize these meetups, record the lessons, and put it out there for people interested to actually go through, then be able to participate. And I'm sure that it's through this organization or movement that Hurray got in touch with me. I think through a friend. He said somebody from Kenya wants to get in touch with me and to learn more about Cardano and Catalyst. I think it really took a great deal of time before I was able to respond to her, but realizing her seriousness, I took her through a series of training. Then she joined our online meetups as well, and she was able to fully participate in Fan 10. I guess it was Fan 10, right? Participated in Fan 10 community reviews, and she did well. She was paid good amount of ADA. Then in Fan 11, she was moved to a level 1 community reviewer. It's unfortunate she didn't see the message on time to register, but she qualified to be a moderator. So she actually took part in is that level 2 moderator role? Yeah, so she moderated and was paid good money in ADA as well. I'm sure you bought a flat up there. Yes, so and from there, I asked her whether there was an active Cardano community, and she said no, but individuals have much knowledge. And I told her, well, my schedules are tight, but because of the seriousness, get your community, a few people together. So we dedicated 30 days. Then I was taking them through online meetups, meetings. I think the recordings are there. I've not uploaded them on YouTube yet, which I will definitely do. And so that is how it started. And I think when I saw the Catalyst working group, I told them, hey, give this a try. And once you apply, it's likely you may get the opportunity to host the working group conference or workshop here. So I guided her. She was doing most of the things. So I guided her, and once we kept it in, I think our application would have been the best, or one of the best, because once the Catalyst team, the working group team, had a meeting with us, and they were telling us everything was on point, and they really didn't have any question to. Yes. Yes, so everything, the budget, justification, everything was good. And among all the African countries, Nairobi was picked as one of the potential cities to launch today's Fund 12. Yes. So we are linked together with Barcelona, Tokyo, then the other 5 cities. So it's going to, Cardano loves to vote. The community has to decide. So the cities went through voting, but it was quite unfortunate we were the first from the bottom. Yeah, so if we're the first from the top, that means we would have had the entire big guys of the Catalyst community coming right here in Nairobi for the lunch, and would have had hundreds of people here. But that's a good start, and it's a plus, and it's actually gradually opening up Kenya or Nairobi to the Cardano community. And that is why I also said, yes, so when I come, we should, aside the working group, we should have a localized meetup like this, so we can talk more about Cardano. And the senior men we have in the front line will also share with us their opportunities and how we can participate. Alright, so this is my contact, and also on X, that is formerly Twitter. I go by this handle, it's Jerry BNJ, and I post quite a lot of the activities we do. So, in short, everything about Cardano Africa Academy is here. Our mission is Cardano Africa Academy is an educative movement with the goal of empowering people across Africa on the potentials of blockchain technology and how they can leverage on Cardano's vast opportunities for development. So you develop yourself first. Now you can also be what? A developer for your community. Alright, so, and our goal is to make Cardano a household name in Africa and beyond. And that is why we do what we do. Constant meetups, exposing people to opportunities. And now even from the community reviews, what people are able to do, it's so amazing. Somebody called me and was telling me for Fund 11, the funds he bought this tricycle, I don't know how you call it here, those big tuk-tuk. So to be carrying people, I'm carrying 4 to 5 people. So he told me he bought one. I was like, wow, interesting. And he said he can't stop thanking me. I said, I'm also happy to hear that. Another person bought a motorbike. Somebody bought a laptop. So their testimonies are amazing. And once we hear this, you just definitely know you are making an impact and you don't have to stop. So that is it. Then we achieve this through, so first of all, we achieve this through awareness. So from awareness to what? Adoption. And from adoption to what? Integration. Yes, and these are the core things we focus on. In Africa, you can't just jump to integration without first of all creating awareness and communities now beginning to adopt. Then from adoption, that's where we can now see what? Integration, seeing Cardano blockchain being fused into every sector. So what's the motto? Cardano growth and adoption in Africa is our priority. And I hope it's also your priority. Yes. Alright, so that is the little I have to say. And now we will move deep into the what just so we move now deep into the various presentations. Alright, so thanks so much. And the first on the list is Darlington to come, and so I think you will have what is the time? So that Darlington can have so Darlington can have an hour, I guess.
be that long unless you have all the questions.
Okay, so probably 40 minutes. Yes, so maybe 30 minutes for your presentation, then 10 minutes for questions and answers. And I'm sure there will be a lot of giveaways, so prepare your crypto wallets.
Okay.
Darlington will be releasing one of the old huge bags of India he has been holding for long. Alright, so let's give it up to him.
So I hope this is less of a lecture and more of a hangout and discussion. I'm going to share some stuff and go slowly. Don't save your questions. If you have questions, ask them right away. Don't wait for the end. You will forget.
Yeah, sure.
I forget everything. I don't write it down. But I'd like to remember. So yeah, this is more of a conversation. I wish we had beer. This would have been like a, let's drink beer and lecture about Cardano. I guess I should introduce myself. So I'm Darlington. I'm currently in Kilolishwa for a few months, and then I'm going to go back to Minnesota. I will be back later this year. Nairobi is a great city. I have been in Cardano for a few years now, probably since the beginning, maybe, since it started. But I've only been active and doing stuff for the since December 2019. I do a lot of blockchain work here in Nairobi and development work and software consulting and just general blockchain training and education with those two ladies over there. And that guy is on trial. The way he forgets everything, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how long he lasts. I've played a lot of roles in Cardano. I've helped in Catalyst a lot, doing different things. I also run a weekly Twitter space with 5 people on Twitter/X. It's typically around 4:30 Nairobi time, EAT, which normally is morning for me when I'm not in Kenya. So you can check that out. It's really fun and entertaining, and it's a good way to read a lot of projects that are building on Cardano. What else? Oh, I've got 2 kids. I have a dog. There's a lady involved. Yeah. Oh, I'm also originally from Liberia, so hopefully I'm one of you. I say that because, the thing that really irks me is like when strangers come into your neighborhood and try to tell you what's good for you, So this is not one of those conversations. This is just more, this is what I know. Here's the tour of Cardano. Just imagine I'm walking on a tour and I'm explaining things, and stop me if you have questions. And my hope is maybe you will hear something, at least one thing, that's going to pique your interest. Santé, merci beaucoup. Thank you. Okay, great. So the title of our time together is called Cardano Ecosystem. Find your place. Ecosystem is a giant word. It can mean all kinds of things. But in this context, it means all of the ideas and companies and effort has been put into blockchain technology in one way, shape, or form. So all the stuff we're talking about will relate to either stuff for the blockchain, stuff on the blockchain, or stuff that uses the blockchain to help communities. And today our primary blockchain we will be focusing on is Cardano. So what happens if I type what is Cardano in Google? Let's see what comes up. I've not done this in a while. What is Cardano? Ooh, we get the Cardano.org. This is not my computer, and I don't know how it works. Is it 2 fingers stroke? Two fingers. It's the 2 finger. Not on this one. It's not straight. Oh, it's too straight. I'm a math guy, and they refuse to give me. They refuse to give me touch screen. Okay, this is great. Okay, yeah, we've got Coinbase, Investopedia, Forbes, Cardano, Cardano.org, Crypto.com. So just a little experiment, just from what you're seeing on the screen right now, you know, what Google, what's coming up, the stuff that's on the right here. What would you guys say Cardano is? What is Cardano? Let's hear a couple answers. Yeah, put it in your own words. What's your understanding so far? What's Cardano? Oh, let's see if I remember the names that I can pick on some people. Peter. It's a community? Oh, just a minute. Your first impression, right? So this is what most people go through. They hear something, they go to Google, they Google it, and typically within a couple minutes you have an impression. So I'm just looking for that first impression of what Cardano is. What you got?
It's a public blockchain platform.
A public blockchain platform, that's a big one. I wonder what that means. What is Cardano, Misha? What is Cardano? I'll go with that. Yeah. Oh, okay. It's a blockchain. Sawa. Okay. It's a blockchain. Well, that brings up so many questions. What's a blockchain, right? So you're reading this and saying, okay, it's a blockchain. It's a blockchain. Let's see what Google says. Blockchain, big word. A system in which a record of transactions, especially those made in a cryptocurrency, I don't like this definition, is maintained across computers that are linked in a peer-to-peer network. So, do people understand what they're saying? Is that English? Does that compute? Does that make sense, or is it strange? Does it make sense? Yeah? Yeah, does it make sense back there? What are your names? I don't think I learned your names. It's strange. How would you explain it? How would you make this make sense?
It's different.
Yeah.
What I understand, a system in which record transaction, particularly those in cryptocurrencies, is maintained. So this is just like, I can say, a platform where we have a lot of transactions, like data, the platform in which the transaction system is maintained from one customer to another, and that platform. Yeah, that's what I understand.
Yes, are you
Yes.
Sally?
So, if I was to make it in football terms, maybe I would say the way we have like store information in files. So blockchain is like a way of storing information, but the way it stores information, it can't be changed, and also it's public.
Yeah. This thing here, you can kind of put it next to other words like internet or telecommunication or computer maybe, right? But I think the first three is more accurate. It's like if someone asks you what's the internet, you probably say different thing for different people, right? Nobody really knows what the internet and how it works. If someone starts asking you about points of presence, say that fast 3 times. Or routers or TCP, UDP, you'll be like, what? Same thing with telecom. I don't know any telecom jargons. I wish I did. But there's other stuff, right? Blockchain is at that same level. It's like a big thing you really don't fully have to understand, and probably will never understand unless you go into software development. But you can know at least what it's useful for. At the core of most blockchain technology is another word that I think a lot of people know, especially if you are from the finance. This word, ledger. Does this word make more sense to people compared to blockchain? People know what this is? Yeah?
I probably have like a simple example.
Oh, let's hear it.
Okay. So I'll read you what it's like. Please pay attention. If you have an exercise book in front of you. So if you have like a small business, or if you've ever run a small business, you probably had a book where you wrote down everything you sold today, business plan set tomorrow, stuff like that. That's data, right? Let's imagine that exercise book is the blockchain, right? The part that this is getting to is the word immutable ledger, meaning that it cannot be changed. So unlike that exercise book that you wrote your information on, that you maybe tear a sheet out, maybe you cancel the record, you made a mistake. On the blockchain, you can't change it. So let's get back to like traditional banking. With the bank, when everybody uses a pesa, so I think that's a better explanation. Everybody uses a pesa. You could go on the pesa and check out the transaction that I carried out yesterday, stuff like that, right? And then M-Pesa is only run by Safaricom's database or Safaricom's ledger. So it means that only one person is in control of all of that data, all of that information. If M-Pesa decides to, if M-Pesa is hacked, probably all of the information is going to be collected. But now with the blockchain, it's a network of interconnected ledgers, meaning that when you input something into this page of the paper, Dan, please could you raise that book paper? Please raise the slide paper. So imagine that if you write on one page, on one line, that my name is Dan, on every line of that book, it's going to be included, my name is Dan, my name is Dan, my name is Dan, till the end. So even if it's here the first sheet in that book, you're still going to have that same information. That means it is immutable, it cannot be changed, which is one feature of blockchain. So let's imagine that blockchain is a piece of paper where you put information. I think maybe I don't know if that makes sense. Did that make sense to anybody? Did that make sense to anybody? So yeah, let's imagine that's what the blockchain ledger is. Please continue.
You know, there's something about the graveyard, and this is actually great for the purposes of this conversation, because my next question is going to, you can't steal this anymore, but that would have been a great example. So maybe next time you go to another group and they ask you the question I would ask in a couple of minutes, you can shock everybody with that one. But let's look at the Wikipedia. Touchscreen. Yeah, so like TK was saying, like it's a book or a collection of accounts in which accounting, record keeping transactions are recorded, right? Each account has an opening or some balance and a list of transactions, and then every new transaction is recorded as either a debit or a credit. These are all important properties. So we have, a certain type of transactions that's meant to keep track of something, like account for something, and then there's this concept of an account, and then the account can have balances, and then when you do a transaction, it can either be a debit, so stuff is removed, or a credit, something is added. And then of course, sometimes, a lot of the times, in another area of the ledger, there's always an ending or a closing or some kind of balance. So people know at any given time what the balance is and then what the records of pluses and minuses. This basic concept that TK said, it's taken, a bunch of stuff is added around it, and is presented as what we know as the blockchain. TK mentioned some of the properties. We will come back to this great thing, but let's put in, let's see what Google said for blockchain properties. Okay, so, they should pick 4 features of blockchain. Something simple, 4 key features. Aha. Okay, well, I think this would work from sources across the web. So these are common properties that most people know about on the internet. Is immutable, so, and this is true for most ledger, you don't go in and erase it, right? You just write a new record that overrides the previous one. So once it's written, it doesn't get changed. So you can always see the full history and know from where we started and how we got here. This is a very, very, very big one. 6 months from now, when you're all, this is a blockchain term, degens, and you're doing all kinds of crazy stuff on the blockchain. I hope you come back to this one, and whichever blockchain you start doing crazy stuff on, try to know more about how they do this, because that affects how good the blockchain is most of the time. But this just means because there is no one company that's responsible for updating the ledger, anybody in the world can be selected at random to be the one that puts new information in the ledger, and then that information gets copied to everybody else. That means that every time the ledger needs to be updated, there needs to be agreement by every single person. in the group, or at least a majority. If there's update to the ledger and you don't have that majority agreement, that update will get rejected. What else? Blockchain uses a lot of distributed computing. That just means Safaricom probably has servers in Europe, in Kenya, probably in most of the countries they operate in, so that when you open your phone and you send M-Pesa, it doesn't have to go all the way to Europe before it comes to the dance floor. They can just go, they can stay right within Kenya and go from my account to dance account. But with blockchain, typically, especially the public blockchain, you don't know ahead of time who will be running the servers. You don't know where they will be running those servers to put together and make up the blockchain. So distributed computing just makes sure that, okay, if we have people in Europe and Asia and they're all helping to run the system, that it works smoothly and everything works. And if one side goes down, the other side knows what to do. I think that's good enough for this conversation. And then the security, because of the way this stuff works, the way this stuff works, and the way this stuff works, kind of tells you how secure blockchain is. And then I saved this one for last because I want to show a diagram. Decentralized is a giant word. Ooh. I'd love to hear what people think that means, decentralized. Ruth, have you heard from me yet? Decentralized, what do you think?
Being controlled by a simple
Decentralized. Decentralized. Yes. Right? Stone slab covering a grave. Also a ledger that talks about the beginning of that person's life, the end of the person's life, and their current state, the dead. Right? Can we think of other ledgers that's not financial or about death? What other ledgers could we set up? Let's go back here. Oh. More of the ones we just mentioned? Can you think of something else? That's not. Did you have one?
Well, let's say the voters in social system for voters.
Yeah, hospitals have records, right? Hospitals have what, you should be going to the hospitals, getting some kind of information of how are you feeling, what's going on, and when you leave, they have information of what happened to you before you came to the hospital, after you came to the hospital. Can we get one here from our esteemed hostess of the mostess? A different kind of ledger. So we have financial ledger, we have graveyards, golden book, hospital records. What do you think? Oh, to do what? For fishing. Say more. What do you see? Where do you see fish? We talked about again with the nodes. You can talk to two people directly in the region next to you without having to go to some central server and back. So just person to person, they can facilitate those types of transactions And you can use it to build all kinds of things, all kinds of things. One of my favorite websites to go to or to send new people to, especially if you are the dreamer type or the entrepreneur type. Let's see if I remember the website. I think it's developer.
The next point.
The next point. So let's see. Let's do this particular blockchain was started by 3 organizations. Okay. It was started by 3 organizations. I hope this website tells us who they are. And I hope you're writing the websites down as I put them in so you can go over them on your own. Cardano.org. Again, talks about Cardano and proof of stake and stuff you really should care about right now. This is a lot. Okay, here are the 3 people. I'm surprised it's not more prominent. So, Cardano is a technology that these people in Japan had an idea or like a dream or something, and they needed someone to help them execute on that. So they wrote a giant check to these guys, IOHK. It's a development firm that specializes in blockchain and distributed ledger technology. Distributed ledger technology, DLT, you will see that sometimes. It's the same thing as blockchain, basically. Blockchain is one form of distributed. This guy, and then all 3 of these guys, when the blockchain was first started, it came with its own financial ledger and a currency called ADA. When that ledger was launched for the first time, just the same way your governments do it, these guys gave themselves money. They gave themselves some of the ADA. Emergo got ADA for providing cash to IOHK. The cash that provided to IOHK was not enough, so IOHK got some ADA as well to make up the difference. And then the Cardano Foundation was given 640 something million ADA as well to help them do the work of managing Cardano and helping with Cardano. So those are the 3 people. That's as top as it gets. Once you get from those 3, typically most people will either interact with a Cardano ambassador or a stake pool operator. So if you decide to start doing stuff with Cardano, chances are eventually, you will probably come into some ADA, some of the Cardano currency. If you have ADA, everybody who holds ADA, if they take that ADA and put it into a certain state, just imagine like if you, like putting your phone in airplane mode or turning on or off cellular data. Just kind of think of it like that. But if you put your ADA into a certain state, that ADA becomes a factor into Cardano security protocols. It makes it harder for people to hack Cardano. And because you do that, Cardano will give you some ADA every 5 days for doing that. It will reward you. And to be able to do that, you can either set up a stake pool and put that ADA, associate that ADA with the stake pool, or you can pick an existing stake pool because you don't have the skills to set up servers and all that stuff. You can pick a stake pool and then stake your ADA to that pool. But the way staking works with Cardano is very different than other blockchains. And that's the reason why I said it's kind of like putting your phone in airplane mode or putting it in a certain state. When you put your phone in airplane mode, you don't put it in an airplane, right? Like you don't send it anywhere, it stays with you. You can, just as easily as you push the button to put it in airplane mode, you can push it again and it will be out of airplane mode. Staking works the same way on Cardano. Once you have some of the ADA, you can stake it and pick a pool, but you don't actually take your ADA and send it anywhere, it stays with you the whole time. And if you want to unstake it because maybe you want to spend it or something, you can just as easily push the button again and it will get unstaked and you can use it. That's different from most blockchains. Most blockchains, when you put your phone in airplane mode, you have to literally give your phone to a pilot and they lock it up for you. And sometimes when you want it back, it might take 2 days, it might take 5 days, it might even take 2 months. So just, that's a great question to kind of know and ask. So staking works different on Cardano. So we've talked about the blockchain, Cardano, what it is, some of the people that started it, stake pool. So once you decide to get ADA, or once you are, maybe you did some work, Project Catalyst or something, and you got some ADA and you want to stake it, you can go to cexplorer.io. This is a good website just to keep to know what's happening. This is an IO. Just checking. Just checking to make sure I'm a few minutes. This website can be a little overwhelming. There's so much stuff on here. But this is where you can go to see all the stake pools and to decide which stake pool you want to stake to. A lot of stake pools, because running a server is not fun, it's not exciting. So a lot of stake pools do other fun things. Sometimes they have like some kind of course, or they have a pretty website, or sometimes they give you some free stuff every now and then for staking to them. So you can click on one of them, and typically this website will tell you if they have a website or not, and you can go to their website to learn about that stake pool, including, I have a stake pool, it's called Lido. So you can also search for stake pools, there it is, and you can learn about all of this stuff which you don't understand, which don't worry about it. But if you go to lidonation.com, you can learn about what we do and why you should stick with us once you have ADA. So that's the stake pool, and then the other thing, like I said, so once you go from the top 3, you might get connected to a stake pool because they're trying to get you to participate in Cardano security. Or you might meet Mr. Bani here, a Cardano ambassador, at an event like this, or another event. The Cardano ambassadors are a bunch of people that are just deputized, champion to go out into the world and help people understand how Cardano works. So I'm an ambassador, he's an ambassador, and then there's an ambassador back there, Mr. Baruka. Any of us, you can ask our questions and we should know. If we don't know, well, is there an ambassador hotline? Once you get from that level, then you will get into different projects that's doing different things in Cardano. Cardano Cube. Is that the website? It's a good website to see all the different projects that's building on Cardano. So maybe you have an idea of, okay, can Cardano be used to do this? Can it be used to do that? This is a good place to kind of go and see what people are doing. You can see Cardano, let's just go to the top few here. This is an AI company, so they're using the Cardano Ledger to do some AI stuff. This is a phone company, it's using the Cardano Ledger to pay people to help run the phone network. and then also you will use the Cardano ledger to pay your phone bill. This is complicated, don't worry about it. This is a crazy, silly community. They don't really do anything. This is, you will get the term meme coin. Maybe you've heard of doggy coin or Doge. That's these guys. This is a company that gives you loans that you don't have to pay back. Well, you do, but it's not structured like traditional loans. And typically, the interest, we will see when the final products come out, but it's supposed to be interest-free also. Remember I told you, Cardano, when you help with the security by putting your ADA in stake mode, you get compensated. So what they do, they say, hey, put your ADA in stake mode in my plane, staying with the imagery there. And Meld? Yeah, Meld, this guy, number 5. Meld? Sorry. And we can give you cash, we can give you fiat. As long as you have your ADA, we can have fiat. And then instead of Cardano paying you, Cardano will pay us. Until your debt is paid, then you can have your ADA back. So that's what they do. This is like Google Cloud, but on Cardano, this is a game, kind of copious. This is books. So instead of Amazon Reader, you can get a book on the blockchain that is permanent with you. So even if this company goes out of business, your book will still work. This is a very complicated AI stuff. The rest of these next 3 things are all about financial products. So maybe you've heard of stocks, maybe you've heard of commodities, maybe you've heard of crazy things like, I don't even know. I don't know. But if you're into financial products, you can get them on the blockchain because the blockchain has a financial ledger. So all these companies provide different financial products that you can interact with on the blockchain. And the list just goes on and on and on. This one is some music. So if you're an artist, you want to sell your music, new, it's a place where you can go. So instead of having to go to a record label and agree to their terms, you can go directly to the customers and sell your music, and you get the money directly to your Cardano wallet. So it goes on and on and on. There's more here. So this is a good website to check out. We will go back to the website we were just on, lightnation.com. That's the website we run. We do a lot of blockchain education. This one. That guy, I have no idea what that says. It's another one. Yako. Yako. I don't know what that means. But so every Monday we put an article that can be used to store all kinds of things. So people who store things on there have to pay fees. Nothing is free, right? When you send M-Pesa, it's not free. Typically you pay a fee. All the fees that Cardano collects for people using the system get split in 3 ways. Some of them goes to all the people who put their ADA in stake mode. Others goes to people like me who help run Cardano. And then the third one goes to a treasury. And it just sits there, and the intention is, and we've learned about this already, the intention every 3 months or so, some amount of ADA is taken from the treasury and is put into Project Catalyst, and then we can go in and ask for money from Project Catalyst to do our work. So we have data about Project Catalyst. So maybe you're curious, okay, can Project Catalyst be used to fund big things? Well, the largest winning proposal on Project Catalyst that awarded $1 million. Just 3 or 4 months ago, no, 6 months ago, that guy in that corner, Katie, his team, got awarded 2 million ADA to to run the whole Project Catalyst system, right? So and then you can see it here over, and this is just, I think this is just 2011. But just 3 months ago, over 240 projects got awarded 75,000 ADA or more. To put that into terms you understand, 75,000 ADA today at the current US dollars price of ADA, is $35,000. If we put that into shillings, is the shilling still going down?
Yeah. 135.
135. Hey, yeah. That's how this working. Oh, there we go. What is that? 4.7 million shillings. Over 240 projects got awarded that amount to go build something for Cardano, to go build something on Cardano. And it's not very difficult to get funded because this whole system is decentralized. So it's not 1 or 2 or 3 people making a decision. There is, I have that number here somewhere. There is over, okay, I don't have the exact number right now, but looking at these 2 numbers here, it's almost 8,000 people that got to make the decision of who got that ADA or not. I think the exact number is 7,900 and something, right? So lots of people, so you don't have to convince all 8,000 people. Sometimes just 300 people thinking your idea is a good idea is enough to get your idea funded. So that's Project Catalyst. Now, if you're not a big idea person, and I hope we can do this really quick. If you're not a big idea person, or you don't like to put yourself out there, what you can do, you can definitely get connected in the community. Build Cardano Cube. All of those companies that I was talking about, they're all on Twitter. Cardano loves Twitter for some reason. So I recommend that you go through there and see the ones you're interested in. Go to their website or their Twitter and follow them. That way you know what stuff is happening in the community. You should definitely follow my donation. That way you know when we're doing things. If you just want to participate, but you don't want to be in front, you don't want to be in the limelight, there are different ways you can do that. Cardano.ideaskill.com. Save that website. This website is the website that is used to do a lot of the Project Catalyst activities, including if you are trying to participate in Project Catalyst, you can be a big idea person, a proposer, or you can help run Project Catalyst, right? You can have a cushy job like hit TK, you have to go apply to get that job, or you can do other jobs that you don't have to apply for or anything like that, all within the Project Catalyst ecosystem. Step 1 is you creating an account on this website, Cardano.ideaskill.com. Once you have an account and you're following people on Twitter, you will hear when there's opportunities to participate that you can get paid ADA from. One such opportunity is when the proposals get submitted, people need to review them, make sure they're not sketchy. You can get ADA from that. I've seen people make 200 ADA, I've seen people make 5,000 ADA. Back in the day, people used to make 60,000 ADA. Those days are over. But 5,000 ADA is still pretty good. Well, that's like $2,000 and change, right? That's one of the easiest low entry area into Project Catalyst. You don't have to get approved by anybody. Once you sign up, they will let you review proposal. The only difference is you start at level 0, and then once you prove yourself to be a good helper, you get moved up to level 1, and there's more compensation if you get to level 1. If you want to learn more about Cardano, blockchain, how it works, Lighter Nation, again, led by those two over there, is going to be doing a online learn to earn program. So you will be able to come in here, register, do some needs, and eventually, once you get through all of this, you will get a page that will show you different courses, not even courses, different articles. 2 to 5 minutes articles, you read it, you answer 1 or 2 questions to prove that you know what you just read, you will be given some ADA. We were given 50,000 ADA to give away, not to keep, to give away to people who participate. We're anticipating about 1,000 participants. So I know when people hear you can get money, they don't like to tell their friends, but you can only get the money once, and there's room for 1,000 people, so please tell your friends. So that's coming up. So save the website. That's coming up soon. Hopefully in a month, or maybe even less. If you can't wait and you want to get some stuff on the Cardano Financial Ledger tonight, we do a thing on our website where every 5 days you come in here. There will be 1 question you have to answer. So this one is, what is the purpose of the max block body size parameter? That sounds hard, but it's not very hard. It's taken directly from this article, and I bet if I just leave this article open for like a minute, you will probably get the answer right away. So the questions are not meant to trick you. They're meant to remind you of something important about the blockchain or some good blockchain habits. And if you answer it correctly, we're not giving ADA, but remember Cardano is a ledger, so you can use it for all kinds of things. One of the things it's being used for is for a coin called Husky. It's like one of those fun name token. So if you get the answer correct, you will get not 1, not 2, not 3, not even 1,000, but 14 million Husky tokens. Let's see what 14 million Husky tokens is worth. Because everything is okay. There we go. Some ledger, some currency that will create that ledger on Cardano that will be worth more than ADA sometimes. That's when economics, supply and demand, meaning comes in, which is out of scope for this. But if you have questions, that would be a good time, because I want us to try to create a wallet if you don't already have one. If you don't have a Cardano wallet, I want us to try to create one. You can do it on your mobile devices even, or on your phone. Let's see. Please forgive me, I'm going to violate your computer. You can delete it later. So while I install this, just do what I'm doing here. Actually, we don't even have to install anything. There's a website, say.io. ETERN, yes, I got it right. ETERNL.io is a website that will create a blockchain wallet directly in the browser without you having to install anything. You can save that. That's not the only wallet in Cardano. That's just the one that I know for sure work in the browser. So once you get into it, you can try to find a wallet that works better.
Easy what?
ETERNL. Eternal without the A. Eternal without the A. Yeah, Eternal Wallet. If you remember to do this later, go into Lighter Nation and type in wallet. If it will let me. There is an article in here that talks about, it's in Swahili. Okay, well. Okay, English. We have a better name. I spent most of last year trying to rename it. I failed. So if you have a better name, I want to hear it. But it lets you secure stuff on the blockchain and prove that you can transfer stuff from your wallet, from your account to a different account. So if you go here, you can do this on your phone too, and you said open a wallet. It will help you create a new one. What? Oh, thank you. So add a wallet and say create a new wallet. It's going to ask for a name. Hey. Oh. Hey, what's that for? This doesn't matter what you put in there. You can put anything in there. It's going to ask you for a password. The reason why most wallets ask for a password is because the equivalent of a phone number and a PIN on the blockchain is much longer. Phone numbers are 10 digits. The thing that's associated with the wallet is more than 30, I think. So it's hard to remember. And the PIN, the password for your wallet, will usually be 15 different separate words. I barely remember my current password, and it's just one word. It has like 8 letters in it, and I forget it all the time. I'm not going to remember 15 words. So what these software companies do, they take those 15 words, they store it on your computer, so you don't have to remember it, but that means anybody can access it. So they let you put a more simple password on it. So you have to use this shorter password, and then they will use the long password to do stuff when you're doing stuff. But that's important to know, because you should not create a wallet on a computer that's not yours, because that means your PIN is on that computer. So just remember that. And then the other thing to remember too, because the wallet that you're creating belongs to Cardano, not the software, you can save that 15 words and you can put it in a different software and the same wallet will be there. So you don't have to keep using this internal software. The wallet is, remember, the decentralized, it's everywhere in the world. It's not on one computer, it's not in one software. Any software that supports Cardano, you can put your password in it, just like you can buy a new phone, put the same card in there, and M-Pesa, it still works. Same idea. Any software, any computer, once you put your 15 words in it, it will keep working. So let's try to create a wallet really quick, and let's try to get some free stuff. Who doesn't like free stuff? Yeah? You can use your phone too. You can use your phone. Just go to the website, eternal.io. Yes, sure. Or if you already have one, then if you already have one, great question. Because the tricky part is, how would you access this thingy over here? Right? If you, but if you already have one, then I think it should work still. We will see shortly, yeah. Let's just create a wallet right now. Let me know if you have any questions. Now, for our testing purposes, if you don't have one already. So, I hope, how do I take a screenshot? Screenshot.
So we screenshot.
Oh, so what's my phone?
It's here.
You should never do this. You should never take a picture of your wallet like this. You should never do this. Because if someone has these words, they can use all your data. So don't show this to anybody. Don't write it down. Put it in something digital. Usually it's better to put it somewhere. So it's going. The reason why I'm taking a screenshot because it's going to ask you if. It's going to ask you to verify because you want to know that you won't lose your password. If you're on your mobile phone, I said another wallet. Is everybody, are people able to create their wallets? We're going to speed this up and wrap up here. What I want. No, so you store. Yeah, you store and then you put in your yeah. So once you have Vespa, don't create a new because remember you already have a wallet now. So anytime you want to use your wallet in a different system, you can just use the 24 watts. So you click restore in Vespa. You click restore. So and then you put in the 24. Yep. You hit continue. It's going to ask you to put in the 24 watts. Yeah, because this is a different software. So yeah, and so now you have your wallet in two different software. Are we live? Thank you, Cardano. Thank you, Jeremiah. Thank you, everyone who attended. Merci beaucoup. Shishini, karibu sana.
Thank you, Cardano, from Nairobi,